Okay, YouTube, I got them switched over. Um, okay, so let's see if I can get up close. Sorry about the crappy phone. So this green and white wire right here that I'm holding on to, right? This wire used to be way over here. Okay, this wire right here used to be way over here in this last slot. This was slot 9. This is slot 9. This is for the left side turn signal. So you have to move from here all the way over to here, right? And it's kind of tricky, honestly. It's really tricky on how to get the pins to slide in and out, because you on this side, you have to, you have to pry off this cap right here, and then make sure the pins doesn't slide over this way or slide over that way. So it's kind of challenging, but I recommend just taking a picture of it, which pins go where, before you start moving them around. So maybe just take a little picture of this when you first start off, take a picture of it, and then move the pins over. That way, if each one, if either of these start to move around on you, because sometimes they will kind of slide, because that's the problem that I ran into. These two purple wires, they kind of slid over, over to the left, and I was like, wow, I thought there was a clear slot for slot 16, but in actuality, the pins slid over. So long as you kind of remember on which way they go, you can kind of get them off and do it that way. So like I said, I had changed this wire right here. It's all white with a green, little light green strip. It came from over there. And then this brown one right here came from slot, let's see, 11. So that came from slot 7, which was down here in this open slot right there. That open slot right there. And that's where I moved them to. So that worked. I did plug it back in and test it before I, went back on here and, explained it or whatever. So, yeah, so just plug it back in and check it. It should work. This only, like I said, someone must have changed this from a junkyard or bought this new, and they never converted over, so they just drove it without the turn signals. When I read up on it, that's exactly what it said. So I don't know if they go out and then you have to move it. I'm just going by what it said. If you have this problem, then usually they change the fuse box and then they never switch the wires over, or they bought a new one, or they bought a used one and never switched it over, because I guess it's for similar models that correspond with each other. So that's what you have to do. So usually those slots was for the bottom down here, the fog lights, but the fog lights never even worked anyway. That's why it was an empty slot, so I mean, take it for what it is. Just try it. Of course, put everything back nice and neat the way you found it. You don't want to leave it just like open up and just leave this right here and just plug it back in. You don't want water to get inside there and corrode it out. So just put everything back the best way you can. You don't want to leave it and start shaving against something, and grounding itself out. If you have any comments or questions, just send me a message and I'll try to help you out as best way I can. This was my first, vehicle that I had an issue with. It's not my first fuse box I've changed. I've changed a couple of these, but different situations, So yeah, just take it for what it is, Like I said, I'm not a professional, none of that. I just happened to come across it, and so I'm just passing it down the line. Make sure you don't touch wires together. I used a power probe to make sure when I did, test that circuit before I even did it. I took it and I stuck it in that slot. I made sure that it did like a blinking mode, like ground power, ground power, ground power. That tells me that it's acting like a light bulb, that turns on and off. And so that's exactly what I did. So I used a power probe, to kind of test it. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these wires back out. Like I said, I did run some wires from the back lights to the front, and when I tried that, it was just still blinking really fast, like it was a blown bulb, and I didn't kind of like it. So I know this vehicle has to go through for DOT inspection, so I didn't want to just leave my partner. You know, they'll look at that and they'll say, why is it making that quick flashy thing? You know, and they take the chance of it failing and, you know, all kind of other headaches. So yeah, like I said, whoops, sorry, I almost dropped my phone. Like I said, just comment or questions or whatever. If you don't like it, it's okay. God bless you. Life still goes on. But if you do, just give me a thumbs up. All right, appreciate you guys.